You deserve a doctor who listens and makes you feel comfortable. So that's why we have Zocdoc. Zocdoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare highly rated in-network doctors near you and book appointments instantly. And the best part, the typical wait time to see a doctor booked on Zocdoc is about 24 to 72 hours. You can even score same day appointments. Head to ZocDoc.com/rivalry and download the Zocdoc app for free. That's ZocDoc.com/rivalry.
All right, Sibling Rivalry listeners, y'all are in for a treat today because Bob is off doing, well, I know where Bob is at, and we got to talk about it because I'm very jealous, but fuck him because we have my good sister, Kim Chi, on the pod. Hi, Kim.
How are you, love? So good to see you.
Good to see you, too. What is this sweater you have on? Or sweater or jacket or coat, whatever it is, it's cute.
It's just like a fuzzy little teddy bear coat, and then I'm wearing a Naomi merchandise.
Wow, you never wear you never wear a Monét merchandise. Telling.
You never gave me one. Naomi makes sure to give me all of her merch, which you have yet to do.
Okay, I don't know if that's true. I've definitely given you merch before.
Even Bob gives me all of his merch. So very interesting. Very interesting.
Bitch,
so you want me to buy your merch?
Are you having coffee at this time of the afternoon?
Well, it's decaf, but my house is really cold right now, and I don't have heat because, LA. So this coffee, I'm not even drinking it. I'm like holding it for warmth.
The other day, so Kim and I were in a bunch of group chats, but one we're in a Facebook group chat, and then she commented something in there. Oh no, it wasn't in there. You commented on your Instagram. You was like, "Oh my God, it's so cold here in LA." I was like, "Kim, it's fucking 60 degrees. Please."
For some reason, my building is one of those like old buildings where when it gets cold, it just stays cold and it doesn't get warm. Which is great for summer because I don't need AC. Yeah. But then like during the colder days, it gets really cold in my apartment.
Yeah. I'm very jealous because all the girlies are going to the Wicked premiere tonight. And I'm very happy to... Mm-hmm. Well, no, go ahead. Tell me.
Were you invited to the Wicked premiere?
I was invited, but I am performing with the Colorado Opera, and tonight is opening night of our show, so I couldn't come back to LA to go.
Oh, I see. I was invited to the early screening of Wicked yesterday, so I saw it.
I saw that.
Sir Goldhouse, who elevates Asian in media and all Asian like media things, but I was not invited to the regular Wicked premiere.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, the shade. Yeah, like it was also why. So all on my Instagram, I'm seeing all like Rob flew in. I had some other friends from New York that flew in for the thing. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so jealous. Everyone has seen the movie before me. I'm so jealous.
Must be nice. But I will say this. I'm going to see Atsuko tonight. Our friend Atsuko.
That too.
So that is a treat on its own. And as someone who's seen Wicked last night before anybody else, I'm gonna say this without spoiling. And can I be honest here? Can I be completely honest?
Girl, be honest. Tell us, Kim. You've seen it. Tell us.
It was good. Oh, it was good. Cause what's so good about it? And again, I'm not gonna spoil anything. But what's good about it is it stays true to original material, but they do little subtle touches here and there that makes it feel modern.
Okay.
And you're gonna have to go see for yourself, obviously because but it's great. It's worth watching, and the magic of like cinema. You can create like visuals that you can't on a stage play.
Right.
And I'm sure there's going to be people because like these like musical theater,
Girl.
Broadway like fans are like so snobby. So I'm sure there's gonna be aspect of it. They're gonna be like, well, in the Broadway they do this, and I'm like, well, it's not Broadway. This is a movie.
It's a fucking movie, girl. It is a movie. It's the movie adaptation / reimagining of the Broadway show. Like that's what people don't understand. Like to your point, I think that's a good point. Like when you see these fucking movies come from Broadway to the movie, you can just add so much more, like so much more depth and so much more stuff to the story because you have movie magic. That's what I'm excited for. To see how they do it. And
the chemistry between Cynthia Erivo and Ariana, chef's kiss.
I know, but even like offline, like when you see them like on socials, all the things, they're doing everything together. Like they really seem to have really become like sisters during like the filming of this fucking movie. Yeah.
And Jonathan Bailey is so sexy. I will say that he does not look like he should be enrolled in school. He looks like a teacher. But with that being said, he is very sexy and hot.
Is he playing Fiyero?
Yeah.
Jonathan Bailey. Let me see. I don't know who that is. What has he been in that I would know him from?
Bridgerton. You don't watch the Bridgerton, love?
No, I don't watch Bridgerton. Oh, right.
You don't watch Bridgerton?
No, I've never seen Bridgerton.
Why do you hate why do you hate Shonda Rhimes? Let's talk about it. Let's unpack this.
I will watch. I just, you know what I don't like? I don't like.
Do you not like? Oh, you don't like diverse casting. I see. That's crazy.
No, I don't like period things. Like
you of all people.
I don't like things that are like set like super old. I don't like black and white movies. I don't like Westerns. I don't like that period shit.
But that's why Bridgerton is different, because they modernize it and it's not a true period piece. So all the music are pop songs that you recognize, done like in like a reinterpreted. So like when they're like dancing at the balls and things, you hear like Miley Cyrus like Wrecking Ball done in like an orchestra like version.
Oh really?
Like, instrumental.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so it's,
actually,
it's super modern.
Huh. Okay.
And then the whole cast is cast like what's the term, like colorblind casting?
Yeah.
Or
yeah, colorblind. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, colorblind casting. So it's great.
It's very, very much like Brandy Cinderella. How she had yeah. How the prince had a white daddy, a black mom, and he was Asian. Brandy, it was interesting.
So,
but also,
I think you should give it a try.
I will, but when everyone talks about Bridgerton, they just talk about there's just so much sex. Everyone is like, they're just fucking all the time. Everyone is having sex and coming inside each other, the whole thing. I'm like, if I want to watch just people fucking, I'll watch porn. But
that's not the main focus of the story. It's about the romantic tension and also these are like rich nobles with nothing else to do. What else are they going to do except gossip and have sex?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, yo, imagine being alive in like those times when, like, I have to say, I am so happy to be born in the time that I was. The only time I would like to be born, two other times. So like currently being born today is obviously great because we have so much. We have the internet, we have games, we have electronic like shit. Like I love that. I would have also liked to be born in the 70s. Because of the drugs and like the partying, and that I would love to be born in like I can imagine what the future is gonna be like, being born 50 years from now with like holograms and shit. But also the world is like kind of like getting fucked up, so maybe I don't want that. So I think now or the 70s are the two times I would like to be born.
Well, honestly, like if I could take a time machine, I want to go 4 years ahead. You know. Like
that part.
Okay, can I just skip like Trump's presidency and then like let's see like where we're at and then decide if I want to like stay there or not. Maybe I want to go back or maybe like. But anyways, let's not spiral into like
yes, we're not gonna spiral. We're not gonna spiral.
The world is gonna be.
Yeah. Well, there was that Adam Sandler movie a while ago. I think it was called Click, and he had a remote. And he could like fast forward through his life. And like I was like, bitch, I wish I could do that right now. Fast forward 4 years.
Just 4 years, that's all I ask for the next 4 years. And if I could go back in time, there's one thing that I want to experience. Obviously, like, you know, with the problem with like racism and, you know, like,
right.
inequality.
Ignore all that.
I don't want to experience any of it. But I would like to take a bunch of prep and bring it to 80s.
Ooh. Work. That would be fair.
We could stop
bitch,
the AIDS epidemic.
you'd have to bring a fucking boatload. How the fuck? Okay. Because let's say we do have this time machine, right? In theory, the time machine can only be so big.
You give it to the scientists and the doctors.
Oh, right.
No, you get the formula to the doctors and scientists.
I'm so, in my stupid mind, I'm
not personally like giving every gay like prep. No. But like, you bring that technology and science to that time. And imagine like how many more gays would have lived.
I know, and imagine like the prolific like artists and dancers and like artists like queer like gay artists we would have been able to save from the late 80s, early 90s, and what that would have meant for queerness now. Like shit will be completely different, girl. Like shit will be so. Oh my God, that's such a good point. You see, I'm so selfish. I'm like, I want to go back and do drugs. Kim is like, I want to heal people.
And also, I would travel back to September 10th, 2001. To possibly stop the 9/11 flight. I don't know what I could do, but I feel like I'll go back in time and I would like call the FBI or something, you know? Like,
but girl, you gotta be careful because then you start making time variances, Kim. So yes, you stop that from happening, but what other catastrophic timelines are you creating that are gonna fuck us up now? Maybe you and I would be dead right now.
Well, at least maybe tell people to like, hey, don't go into work if you work at Twin Tower. You know?
And then like, you end up outing yourself as like a time traveler. Then Kim is now evading. You have to commit espionage to hide from the government because they want to know how you found out. Girl, no. I'll keep my mouth shut.
Okay, so there's one more thing that I'm going to go back in time for, and that is I quit smoking a long time ago. Like, I don't smoke anymore. But like the Pan Am times when people were smoking on a plane, like I was born after that time, so I can't imagine what that would be like, where people were like getting on these planes and getting these like nice meals, and they're just like smoking nonstop while drinking martinis.
That is crazy. I cannot believe. I guess
like a smoking plane. That sounds crazy.
That sounds insane. Imagine being trapped in a fucking plane and the people just smoking. Oh my God, you probably came off that plane stanking of. Oh God, that sounds. And I'm
sure people are like chain smoking too because they're bored on a plane.
Right. I wonder what, like, that. I mean, I've never been a smoker, so that doesn't appeal to me. But I mean, maybe even weed. I smoke weed here and there, but I wouldn't even want to be locked on a plane with weed. Like that doesn't sound fun to me at all.
Yeah, but I just want to go back and see for one day. Like, let me just see what it's like. Oh, and do you remember when they had a Concorde flight from New York
I was just
to
about to
London?
Bring that up.
Yeah, yes, like 3 hour flight.
3 hour flight, girl. That would change
everything.
And I mean, so Ty and I, who travels with me, we were talking about this the other day, and I looked it up. They stopped so for y'all young Gen Zers and maybe Gen Alphas listening to this, they used to have the Concorde flight that could fly from New York to LA to New York in 3 hours. Right now, it's about 5.5, 6 hours. That flight was 3 hours. Also, New York to London was 3 hours. So like, you could making that a 3 hour flight. That sounds insane. I wish they could bring it back. I want them to bring it back.
It's like, why wasn't that a thing? Like after we got on Drag Race, you know?
I know. Well, apparently they stopped it because across the country, they were so loud and they would often break the sound barrier. So like when you're just sitting in your home in whatever city you're in, you can hear the plane going by because it's constantly shattering the sound barrier. And like there were like a few accidents, but I'm like, whatever. More people are dying fucking car crashes a year. Who cares if 1 or 2 Concorde flights crash a year?
But also, like, most of that flight is over the water, so why does it matter?
Yeah, well, not the one from New York to LA though.
Oh,
yeah.
And always complain about the flight. Excuse me, this flight. It's too loud. I live in New York and, I need a little peace and quiet.
I know, yeah. Well, Bob and I were talking about this the other day. He was like, oh, and people in the comments try to get at me. I'm curious about this. What you think about this? I feel like, yes, now that I live in North Hollywood, I feel like I'm more conscious of like airplanes, like hearing airplanes. But like when I was in East Hollywood or when I lived in New York, like I don't have this constant Bob is like, everyone, wherever you live, you're always hearing planes, like in New York and in LA. I was like, I don't think so. Do you hear airplanes all the time?
Not in Mid City, no. Never.
Right.
I don't even hear helicopters.
Well, in LA, you hear them periodically because they're always searching for somebody fucking in LA. There's always a copter searching for some fugitive in LA all the time. That's weird. But I was like, in New York, I don't remember hearing airplanes all the time. He's like, everyone in New York hears airplanes all the time. I'm like, I don't think that's true, but whatever.
But also, where you live right now is like close to the Burbank airport, right? So
yeah. So you can hear. I hear airplanes there because I live literally super close to it. Well, not that close, guys. I don't live that close to it.
So I guess being a homeowner is not all that it's cracked out to be.
I want to do so. My publicist can get me an AD feature. Kim and Bob is like, don't do it. Do you think I should do an Architecture Digest?
So no, absolutely not. Because
what?
all the celebrities that show their home on Architecture Digest are trying to sell their home.
Oh, really?
Yes. So that way, like, people see these videos and they're like, okay, like this is like the layout of the home, so then people don't actually have to come into tour.
Oh.
Your home is freshly made.
Yeah.
You have a lot of like nice things and nice furniture, and I know for a fact that you don't have like a personal security or anything.
You don't know what you think I don't, honey. They're watching y'all.
No, you don't. So you're basically like telling like robbers, like, all right, when you rob me, these are the places where you're gonna go to like get these things.
That's what Bob said. Okay, I guess I'm not gonna do it then.
You don't have like the means to protect yourself, and there's nothing for you to gain out of like showing your house on AD, except to flex on people, and you're better than that.
Damn, Kim. All right, y'all, Kim just got me together. I guess I'm not doing AD feature.
I mean, when you're trying to sell your house, then do it, But like,
Alyssa Edwards did one.
Yeah, well, Alyssa's also egomaniac. I love her though.
I do love her. Listen, let's take a break and we'll talk more about these influencers and their houses. Okay, and we're back. Okay, so we're talking influencers today. Now, I've been to a few since moving to Los Angeles. I've been to a few I guess influencers and celebrity homes, and it's always super gaggy to me. Jay, I'm gonna say the name, but you have to bleep it because I don't want to put their business out there. I think the first celebrity or influencer home I went to was Have you ever been there?
No, I'm not really friends with celebrities like you.
Bitch, please. Kim, please don't act for these cameras. Kim is so full of it. So it's when I first moved to LA and it was a birthday party and I got invited and I was like, oh, wow. And apparently it's old house. So I guess like it was my first time being like a big mansion like that. I was like, this is wild. Like it was so cool. It's so big and it's like a pool and all the things. And I was like, wow, this is because in Los Angeles, people do house parties here a lot. Whereas in New York, people go out a lot. Because no one's bringing people to their small ass fucking apartments. So in parties I've been to LA, they normally are house parties, and in New York people are going out to the clubs. So that's how I get to see a lot of people's houses.
Yeah, I've been to some like ridiculous houses here. I'm like, and they're very like unsuspecting because like they're like in a regular neighborhood, and you go in and like, is this like a $20,000 couch? Oh my god,
$20,000 house? You mean $20 million?
The $20,000 couch.
Oh, couch. Yes. Yeah. Well, and then you realize that oftentimes that sometimes they're getting these couches and shit for free. Like I can speak for myself. Like I got some furniture in my house for free just because I had a publicist when I was renovating my house, and they just reached out to people and they were like, would you give Monet? Monet is doing a renovation. Blah, blah, blah. Oh my God, we love Monet. We'll give her blah 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 for free if she can do like a video or a post about it later on. And I was like, sure. And so I got some really nice things for my home.
Where are they?
Locked away in the safe.
I was gonna say I haven't seen these.
You fucking bitch. But sometimes like you hear that, and I will say like, that's what I don't think people realize. Like, influencers and celebrities, they've getting a lot of shit for free. Like I've gone to the Oscar gifting suite, which is I've been to the Emmys and the Oscars gifting suite, which is what you get invited to. Even though I've never been nominated for an Emmy or an Oscar, I get invited to it. And like you get like nice fucking shit, y'all. Trips to go places, lots of free things. And the barter is that, so it's normally at a really nice hotel in New York, in LA. And they take you around to all the, like each brand is posted somewhere up, like 3 floors full of brands, and then you go to a thing, you have someone walking with you, collecting all your items for you, and then the brand gets to take a picture with you holding the item and like posing with the item, and then you get to take it for free. So the first time I went, I got so much nice shit. They even, those big massage chairs you see at the airport?
Mm-hmm.
They were giving one of those away, but at that time I was at my old apartment, my old townhouse here in LA. I didn't have anywhere to fit it, and it was they were basically giving it to you for a year. You can have it in your home for a year. They would pay to deliver it, pick it up. You get to keep it in your home for a year. But I just didn't do that. That was probably one of the most expensive ones.
I've gone to one gifting event, and that event gave me such an ick that I just say like no to like gifting events now.
Wait, why the ick?
So they're like, they invited me, and I'm like, I've never been to one of these before. Let me just go check it out. Let's see like what it's all about. They're like, you can bring a +1, and I was like, sure. So I got there, and then I checked in. They gave me a little bracelet and then like a bag to like put stuff in when I get it. And then my friend reached out too, and then they're like, oh, you just get a bracelet, you don't get a bag. And I'm like, can't she just have a bag? I mean, it's just like a whatever bag, plastic bag. And they're like, no, she's in this 3rd tier as a +1. I'm like, tiers? So then I realized like our bracelet had different colors. So then there's like tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. So then when we go in, there's all these like vendors, right? Just like giving stuff away. And if you're just like a clothing one, if you're like in the top tier, you can take 9 clothing items for free. But then if you're in 2nd tier, you can only get like 4. And then if you're last tier, you can only take 1.
That's wild.
Every single booth had like tiers like that. So then I felt like, okay, like this is really like gross, kind of. Like if you're gonna do a gifting event and have people bring them, like why not treat everybody equally? So then now it feels like my friend is like less than me.
Yeah. And I mean, and again, I guess the purpose of this is that they think that you post about it and tell more people about it and this shit and like about the brands. But like, I'm just so also curious. Like, I guess since I've been on Drag Race, that's when I've been aware of influencer culture. But I feel like influencing is like, I would say influencing. I mean, again, obviously influencing has been around for a long time, right? Celebrities have always been given things and using them to influence the public to purchase them. But I feel like the big business of influencing, like it's because of social media, has gotten like crazy. Like influencing is such an interesting concept to me. And I guess just because since I've had public awareness and I've been a public figure, I've realized how fucking big influencing is.
And also, I feel like a lot of the content creators, when they start out, they're very like genuine about their content initially, right? They're like, when they review product, they like pay with their money and then they review it and then they eventually like gain followers. And a lot of times, like after they gain followers, then they won't post anything unless they're getting paid. Right. Even like, like for briefly, I was doing like restaurant reviews just for fun, just to make it like extra content, just, like out of like hobby. And then from then I was like hanging out with like, I just randomly started crossing paths with like a lot of these like food influencers and hanging out with them. And a lot of times like, it was kind of almost like predatory, like how they're treating the restaurants. Like when they go in, they like order all this food, don't leave a tip. And then like, maybe they'll post like one Instagram story, but then like if they're getting paid, then they'll do like
slide on slides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and then they're always like, we love like lifting up, like, like mom and shop businesses. And I'm like, you're kind of like taking advantage of them. You're going to these struggling businesses and getting like whatever you can for free and then see like what you can get. I don't know. It just the whole culture like gave me the icks. And I was like, I'm going to stop doing this because I don't want to be associated with any of this.
Well, Keith Lee is a big one. Keith Lee is probably the biggest food content creator influencer that I know of. And like Keith Lee had like throughout his career so far, like he has literally reinvigorated businesses. Like, and I'm like, how did he become so fucking influential? Like, it's crazy. When restaurants hear that Keith Lee is coming to Atlanta, like they're on like their P's and Q's, hoping he'll come to the restaurant, because if Keith Lee comes and gives your restaurant a good review, people are gonna start lining down the block for your restaurant. I'm like, that is fucking influence, bitch. That is power. But
I've seen like the opposite side of it, where first of all, I love Keith Lee. I think his reviews are phenomenal. I think he's a very like important person in the industry. But then also we have to recognize like the power that he has. Where if he gives the restaurant like a not favorable review, as honest it is, it also creates like a mob mentality of people trying to like cancel this restaurant. Like you're done, like you're over. And I've seen it happen to like other businesses where they get bombed with bad reviews from people that haven't tried the restaurant after Keith Lee says something like unfavorable about them.
Yeah.
And
yeah. I mean, but also he always make it a business. So when he does go to these places, he will like leave like, even when he does when he gets bad service or he doesn't speak super favorably of the business, he will still leave like $1,000 tip and like all these things to like hopefully help the wait staff out or whatever to make it a little better,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's definitely an important like person in the industry, and I appreciate like what he does. I just but he's at the point where he just needs to be a little more careful about like what he says about each places,
Yeah, I feel that.
Because people are messy.
100%. 100%. What is the craziest PR package you've ever gotten?
Oh my God, there's so many. There's one that I got recently, and I felt really weird about it that I didn't even post it. So it's a product from this influencer who actually is in some like big controversy right now. I'm not going to say his name because I'm not trying to start drama. And he sent me, this brand has sent me a package before. So they had my address, but this time I just got another package from them. Like, because normally like sometimes brand will be like, I'll be on the lookout. We sent you another one, but this one just like arrived at my door without like any warning. I opened it up. Inside was a product and $100 in cash.
$100 in cash?
$100 in cash. Just like, and it wasn't like, the product had nothing to do with cash. There were just $100 in cash in the package.
Is that supposed to be like an incentive to you to post about it?
It doesn't say anything like that. There was literally just $100 in the package. And I'm like, so if you're sending $100 to all these people, why didn't you at least say like, hey, there's an important package coming, like be on the lookout, something, Yeah. Not just like randomly sending me $100 in cash.
Interesting.
And then, a lot of drag fans know like my saga with Chipotle.
Oh God, I'm so jealous. Does Chipotle still take care of you?
Oh, they took care of me and then some. And
I'm
also,
so jealous.
But then one time they sent me a PR package that was, their Chipotle chip bags.
Yeah, the chip bags. Yeah, like the ones that you get chips from when you go. Yeah,
They sent me a life size of that one, but it was 8 foot tall, to the point where I couldn't even get it in my door and I couldn't move it by myself. And I'm like,
what was inside of it?
Inside of it were like hoodies and like clothing, like they were releasing. So it was very cute, but I'm like, I can't even like throw this out myself because it's so big and heavy.
8 feet tall. That's insane. Well, here's the thing. When brands send these crazy PR boxes, I be like, girl, the amount of money it costs to make this promo box. I think some of the biggest ones I got was Lizzo. Yitty sent me a promo box and it was literally like a fucking chest. Like it was a big purple chest. I would say like maybe.
Oh, I got the same one. It was like
yes, the purple one.
The purple one, yeah, I got the same one. It was
Yeah,
huge.
a huge ass chest, and then you open it up and it has like all these compartments and drawers and shit. I was like, this is crazy. And then another one I got, Doritos, it was like a pyramid. Did you get this one from Doritos?
Doritos, no.
They were debuting a new dip or a new sauce or something like that. So they sent a big ass pyramid that's maybe like 4 feet tall and like a pyramid. So it was fucking wide. And I was like, oh my God, I wonder, like in my mind, I'm like, oh, there's like 4 or 5 bags of Doritos in here. Y'all, that big ass thing for 2 dips, a Cool Ranch one and a nacho cheese one and like a golden spoon. And I was
like, oh my God.
The waste, like, no shade. I love Doritos. Thank you so much for the PR box. And I was like, this a big ass pyramid for just these 2 dips and a golden little spoon. I was like, that's a little wild.
This one time, this ice cream company that I never get my address to sent me a giant PR package when I was traveling. So I must have been like some of these companies like share the address with other brands or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I come home after like being away for the weekend, working, and I see this like giant ice cream box, and I'm like, oh my God, when did this get here? And I opened it up, and there was literally like hundreds of bars of ice cream all melted.
Shut
inside.
up.
And I'm like, this is so insane. Like, it's such a waste.
It's a fucking waste, girl. Well, you know, I have a really weird thing with ice cream bars because when I found out, did you know the Nestle drumsticks? You know the classic drumstick with the
they don't melt.
They don't melt. Why don't they melt, Kim?
Because it's not ice cream.
I'm not eating that shit.
But you eat Doritos.
Yeah, but Doritos they don't melt and they're not supposed to.
I've seen you drink Mountain Dew Baja Blast. You think that's real liquid?
Kim had a game night at her house one day, and I was gonna be late, bitch. And then I come over, the game started, bitch. I walk in with my fucking bag of Taco Bell and my juice, and I didn't offer anyone any of my.
No, but we also had a lot of food there, so everybody was already full.
There was so much food. Well, you got us empanadas from that fucking place. That was so good.
Hermano's empanadas, they're like handmade empanadas, like made to order. They're phenomenal. If you're in LA, look them up. Their empanadas are so good.
You know when you get cornered by that one auntie at family gatherings, the one who asks questions you'd rather not answer, like, when you get married, or, well, you still living at home, only be met with a person not listening to your answer at all. Well, while you have to grin and bear it at the family reunions and the get-togethers and over holidays, you do not have to do that at the doctor's office. You deserve a doctor who listens and makes you feel comfortable. So that's why we have Zocdoc. Zocdoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare highly rated in-network doctors near you and book appointments instantly. No more waiting awkwardly online or on hold with a receptionist or like settling for the first doctor you can find. With Zocdoc, you can see verified reviews from actual patients, so you know what to expect before you even step into the office. You can book appointments with tens of thousands of top-rated patient-reviewed doctors and specialists, filtering specifically for those who take your insurance and are located near you, and treat conditions like whatever you're looking for, whatever you have. And the best part, the typical wait time to see a doctor booked on Zocdoc is about 24 to 72 hours. You can even score same-day appointments. Now, I've used Zocdoc to find my doctor before, and I really connected with them. And I would love to tell you to do the same thing. It's been a true game changer. So head to Zocdoc.com/rivalry and download the Zocdoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/rivalry. Zocdoc.com/rivalry. Hey everyone. If you know me, you know that I love my handbags and I've always strived to keep them looking pristine. I just discovered Cringy, the ultimate solution for protecting and preserving my purse collection, ensuring they stay beautiful and last forever. Now think about it. You clean and maintain your shoes, your car, even your body. So why not do that with your luxury handbags and give them the same care? These bags are an investment, and with Cringy, you can make them last a lifetime. Plus, if you ever decide to resell, Cringy helps keep your bags in perfect condition so you can get top dollar. In today's world, where overconsumption is a big issue, it is crucial to make sure that things last as long as possible. By taking care of our handbags with Curai, we can do just that. And there's a limited supply available, okay? So head over to mycurai.com to get your leather care kit today. That's mycuire.com, the best way to make your handbag last forever. PSA for anyone who rents. If you haven't heard of Built, you're going to want to pay attention. Earning points on rent is now a reality when you pay through Built. You don't even have to check with the landlord to start earning points that you can use toward flights, hotel stays, fitness classes, and even your next rent payment. Okay, let me break it down for you. There is no cost to join Built. And as a member, you earn valuable points on rent and on your everyday spending. Plus, Built points can be transferred to your favorite hotels and airlines, including ones that you've stayed at or ones you never heard of. And that doesn't just stop there. You can also redeem your points toward a future rent payment or for unique experiences that are exclusively available to Built members. So if you're not earning points on rent, my question is, why not? Start earning points on rent you're already paying by going to joinbuilt.com/rivalry. That's JOINBILT.com/rivalry. Make sure to use our URL so they know who's seeing you. Join built.com/rivalry to start earning points on your rent payments today.
Okay, now here's a $1 million question, Kim. Who's taking it? Hermanos Empanadas or Empanada Mama? What's good?
They're completely different. You can't compare apples to oranges. You know,
Her fucking pageant answer, Kim. Please.
Then, okay. Hermanos Empanadas.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
No, Empanada Mama is top tier. They're superior. Remember when I first brought you to Empanada Mama?
Oh, no. Yeah, so Bob was the first person to tell me about it, but he's like, oh, Empanada Mama was my favorite restaurant, but it burnt down. And I was like, oh. And then I was on New York for like a tour during Work the World, and you're like, you got to go to Empanada Mama. I'm like, they're open again? And it's like, girl, go there, get the Viagra empanada. Trust me on this. And I did. And now I get the Viagra empanada from Empanada Mama every time I'm in New York.
So you still say Hermanos over Mama?
But see, it's completely different because Hermanos like classic simple empanada were like beef and chicken. And then Empanada Mama's like different seafood, the cheeseburger. Yeah. You know, it's just completely different. Like the outside shell might be the same, but the inside feeling is like a whole new world.
There's also Nona's Empanada. It's on It's right by the Beverly Center.
Yes, I don't like Nona's.
Really?
The shell, maybe like just every time I've had it, the shell has been like cold and stale.
Yeah. Yeah, because they do like that plaiting around the rim of it, and it's like, yeah, I agree. I don't love the shell, and I've tried a lot of their flavors, and they have like 20 different flavors, but I only like 2 of them, which I'm like, that's not a good what's the word ratio.
But you know,
like, yeah,
you know what's better than empanadas?
What?
Jamaican beef patties.
Well, I mean, I have to take you to the best Jamaican beef patty I found here in LA. Because, you know, one thing I will say about the West Coast, I love living in Los Angeles. I love living here. But there is not a lot of West Indian Caribbean food. Like, there aren't a lot of places. But I found one that has literally, Kim, the most perfect flaky crust, great seasoned beef inside, and it's on Santa Monica. I'm gonna take it to get beef patties there.
You know, if you go to like Pico Robertson, there are so many Caribbean like Jamaican restaurants all in that strip.
Pico Robertson, I need to write that down. Pico Robertson,
like in Mid City area, yeah, there's a lot of like Caribbean Jamaican restaurants, and they're really good.
Down. I'm always on the hunt because I love Caribbean food, and it's just not. I've been to like 4 places here in LA, and I'm like, this is not good. So I'm gonna try that.
Girl, let me take you to my spot. You know, you take me to your spot, and I'll take you to my spot. How about that? We go Caribbean day.
Deal. Well, here's the thing. So, beef or meat inside a flaky crust is clearly something that goes like through different cultures, right? Like Puerto Ricans have their own, Colombian.
Every culture has their dumpling, you know.
Okay, I'm about to say, so what is the Korean version of like a beef patty?
Beef patty, probably.
Or like an empanada.
Jimpang. Jimpang, yeah.
Okay, and it's like a flaky thing with meat inside of it.
Yeah.
Got it.
And then there's also hot dog. There's also mandu.
Mandu. Okay. I want to do like a YouTube video about that, like trying every different culture's like empanada thing. Because I find it so interesting, like the world and culture and food. Like obviously there's so much that separate, and this sounds so fucking pageant, whatever, but there's so much that separates us. But throughout food, like every culture has their version of a thing that we all do, which I find very interesting.
I feel like this is like a very cheesy thing to say, like in the food space, but food tells a history.
Yeah.
Food tells you about like how people live. Food tells you about how people like nourish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just like there's so much like history that you can tell just from like the food culture.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think is the difference between New York City and LA influencers? I have my thoughts about LA influencers versus New York influencers. I find it to be very stark. I feel like LA influencers are so like young and bright and cheesy, whereas New York influencers, I feel they seem to be a little more like reserved and kind of like cool. The word is not cool because I think LA influencers are cool too, especially like their brand of influencing. But I just feel like New York influencers are a little more laid back and chill, as opposed to LA influencers are like young and bright and chipper and sunny and like, yeah, look at a day in the life of me going to the dot. Like it's very that.
Yeah, I guess I've never met too many New York influencers, so I can't really speak on that. But at least just ones I see social media. But also like you never gauge an influencer by like their online persona because so many of them are just so different off camera.
I know.
Like a lot of them, from my personal experience, a lot of them are very, very shy and awkward in person.
100%.
Like, and then they turn to the camera and they're like, "Hi, you guys," and then they're like, they can't even say hi to you.
Yeah. Well, and like I look at maybe it's just my algorithm, and I talk about this on my show Monét Talks. Like when I talk to like Bowman and some other influencers on there, and I find it so interesting how very different all of our For You pages are. Because I was talking to them about like my For You page. I'm like, well, these are the people we talked about the top 5 people on our For You pages, and I was like, I have this, and on my For You page, these are people with like huge tens of millions of followers, but on his they're completely different. And they also have tens and millions of followers. So it's like the fucking social media scape is so fucking big. It honestly feels like the galaxy, like the universe. Like there's just it's just unending influencers. There's just so many people out there with so many fans, and we don't even know them.
That's true. And that's how I kind of feel like I feel about like how this election went down. I feel like, have I been living in this like liberal bubble? Because everything I see in social media is like anti-Trump, like Kamala's gonna win. And then, obviously, that's not how it went down.
I know.
And then, like, from everywhere, anywhere that's, like, not in, like, the progressive circle, it's like, oh, we all totally saw it coming. Like, this race is not even close. And Kamala's, like, made so many bad moves. I'm like, to me, Trump is making, like, nothing but bad moves.
Girl.
And it's,
I agree. I was talking to our producer, Jay, about this. Like, I was like, on my Twitter, which is obviously I'm a super liberal. I am a fucking black drag queen bitch. And like on my Twitter, on my For You page, I was getting nothing but Trump ads. And I'm like, there's no way that shit is for me. Like, there's nothing I am liking / posting that would warrant Trump ad. I can count on maybe 2 fingers, so that means 2, the amount of Kamala ads I saw during this whole past year versus the like daily a different Trump one I would see on my Twitter For You page. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah. So maybe I just need to like log off online and just not. I thought we had this election in the bag, and I was completely wrong.
I know. So to the New York influencers, I feel like the New York influencers I see on mine, they'll do like a day in the life thing, but it's more like the day in the life of like a sugar baby and like how I like fashion. Whereas LA influencers seem to be like more lifestyle and like shit like that. I feel like that's again, maybe that's just my For You experience.
No, I agree. My For You pages. Because also in LA, there's so many different like pop-up events or like brand event that happens here all the time. Some of these influencers, their content is just all going to these like different events. Like, oh, I'm going to like this like sample sale for this, and the line was like 4 hours long and blah blah blah. Yeah. Oh, the skin bearer and has like launching event for this and this, and all of their content is just about like basically being a socialite.
Yeah. I do get jealous of those like influencers who get like invited on these like trips. Like I feel like Jackie Aina, like she like went to like Cannes. They like invited her to go to Cannes for a thing. Or these influencers go on these like brand trips somewhere. I'm like, that seems so. I've never been offered a brand trip by a brand for any influencing.
But you know what? And we probably won't going forward because no one is like no brands wants drag queens as
Right?
like
Why
going
is
forward.
that? Can we talk about it? Why is that?
It's just people would hire a cis influencer with less followers than like a famous drag queen, right?
Yeah.
And especially like this political climate. I think the turning point was like the whole like Bud Light drama. Since then,
Oh,
all brands just like
Dylan Mulvaney.
yeah, and we're not blaming Dylan.
Yeah, no, not at all. Yeah, no.
But just like that was like the point where it's just like a lot of brands are like, instead of like giving our money to like trans and like drag like creators, it's just better for us just to hire like a random like cis straight celebrity, you know?
Yeah, but even like, because we have friends in influencing, and like sometimes again, we're not discussing numbers, but when people hang out, you're like, oh yeah, like a brand gave me like like these are just random numbers. Yeah, this brand gave me like $10 to do this thing, and then and you're a drag queen or a trans person, and another person being like, really, girl, they gave me like $50 to do this thing, and that person's like a cis person, like cis, not drag. I'm like that, like even the numbers be so crazy with how different they're willing to pay drag queens and trans folk as opposed to.
Yep.
Fuck. Yeah.
I guess it is the political climate, and it's interesting. Getting more work from going forward is going to be even harder.
I know.
So, so to the
kill me.
To the new Drag Race queens going on newer seasons. Good luck.
Is there any kind of content you find cringy?
So many.
Well, I would make some things and I would like send it to Bob. I'm like, Bob, this is so cringy. He's like, Monét, part of being a millennial making content is being cringy. So just be cringy and post it.
No, see, when people do like skits and things, I don't mind those. I think they're like whatever, like, you do you, I hate stunt food content where when you watch it, you think it's going to be like an actual recipe video, but then like they make something completely disgusting where it's like it's always like a sheet pan, like aluminum sheet pan with like pasta, and then they pour like blocks of cheese, and they just waste so much food making these like non-recipes.
Yeah.
Like, I hate those. Or they're like, oh, we're going to make, like, fruit punch in a toilet bowl. And I'm like, why? Why? It's not entertaining.
Okay, I didn't know the name of it. Stunt food. Yeah, that is... Yeah. I feel like there was a wave of that when it was crazy. It would be like, they were like a sheet pan. They put, like, uncooked pasta. They put cheese on it. Then roll it up in dough. Then fry the dough. Then put it in a thing. And I'm like, no one's fucking eating that.
Yeah. Or,
stunt food.
Or like mukbang content where they like pour sauce over everything and they're like eating it like all dripping down. And I'm like, like I'm someone who like loves food and I do not want to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, mukbang. Well, I remember when mukbangs were like something that I would watch sometimes by some of my favorite influencers, right? It just got crazy and everyone just started doing mukbangs. And I'm like, girl, no one wants to see no fucking mukbang of no goddamn Chick-fil-A. Like, what are you doing? No one who wants to watch that.
Yeah, no, like give me like an interesting mukbang.
Right.
But then, oh my god, did you hear about the Korean mukbang, Jiang?
No.
This is like insane. So she's probably the biggest mukbanger like in the world, right?
Uh-huh.
The biggest. Like she has millions of followers.
What's her name?
Jiang, Tzuyang.
Oh yeah.
But it turns out.
Uh-oh.
Wait, God, this is like such a long saga. I don't even know where to begin. Basically, her ex-boyfriend took like videos of like her, like secretly, and have been blackmailing her. So every earning that she's made from like her like videos of millions of followers, like millions of dollars, he basically like took it all, and then he's been beating her every day.
Beating her, like physically beating her?
Like physically beating her, and then people saw like bruises and stuff like, like in our videos, and she's just like, oh, I'm clumsy. But anyways, so she collected enough evidence, tried to sue him, but then he ended up killing himself.
Jesus.
But then these other YouTubers, these Korean YouTubers, found out about this from his lawyer, and then they've been blackmailing her all this time.
What?
About her like getting beaten and all that. So then she finally like had to come out with like all of this like information because she didn't want to be blackmailed anymore, and paid them like these like crazy amounts of money. And then she had to play like all these like clips of her like that she recorded where like her getting beaten by this guy like every day. It's so sad.
Okay, so I'm on her thing, and like she posts on her YouTube page, she posts a video pretty much every 2 days, it looks like.
Yeah.
How? There's no way. When people do these mukbangs, you're not really eating all that food, are you?
She does. She's like proven like many times that she actually eats all that food.
And how does she stay so skinny?
She's just built differently. She's not. Some people are just built differently, Like for me, I smell food and I get bloated.
Girl, like, how do you maintain such a physique and eat so much? Like, you're eating tens of thousands of calories.
Yeah. I know, it's a mystery. We all want to know. Please, tell me the secret.
Well, it's also when I meet these people who are like, oh, I forgot to eat today. Never?
Yeah, never. That has never happened to me.
Girl.
It's like, or when people are like, oh, I didn't have time to eat. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Like, what?
No matter how busy we are, you can find time to eat.
Like, it blows my mind when people are like, oh, I forgot to eat today, or I didn't eat. Like, I'm like, girl, no shade, bitch. The night when I go to bed at night, to going to sleep, I'm thinking about, ooh, bitch, for lunch, I'm gonna get this already the next day. Like, that shit is how my brain is wired.
Food noise.
Girl, food noise. I'm like, ooh, yeah, okay, bitch. Today I had Formosa Cafe for lunch, but bitch, tomorrow for lunch, bitch, I'm gonna get me I'm already planning out my meals for the next day.
Oh, you like Formosa Cafe, girl?
I love Formosa Cafe. You don't like it?
I've never been.
Oh, I got it. It's such good Chinese food. It's good. Before, my favorite LA Chinese food used to be, which I still like, Hoy's Walk. They used to have a location on Sunset and La Brea, but it burned down. So then they moved to a place on Third, kind of by Nona's thing. So it's a little far, but Formosa, I go to Formosa all the time.
If you're willing to like go to SGB one day, I want to take you to Hang Hang Food Court where they make this best, like, juiciest dumplings.
Ooh. Well, I tell people all the time, those fucking dumplings that used to be outside, well, not used to be, I feel like that place is gone. But when we went to South Korea, outside Trunk, that dumpling place.
Oh my God, so good, right?
We went to South Korea. We were there for a week. I went there every day. And they were 24 hours. So I would like leave my hotel at like 2 o'clock in the morning and go get those dumplings.
Those dumplings are so good.
So fucking good, bitch. They're so good.
I found a place in LA that makes dumplings very much like those.
Kim, why you holding out though?
You won't return my text.
That is a lie. That is a lie. Yeah, I want to go there. Also, I always tell people about when we went to South Korea and Minnie took us to that crazy sushi experience.
Oh yeah, the omakase. Yeah.
Omakase.
Omakase is so popular like everywhere now, so you can get omakase anywhere. Except, so like omakase means like chef choice, right?
Oh,
so then like the chef serves you like each course. Now they're trying to like colonize it.
Oh God.
The other day I saw a pizza omakase.
No.
And coffee omakase, and I'm like, yo, you can't just like take a random thing, put the word omakase in it, charge like $150, and serve pizza, like slice of pizza. Like, that is bullshit. Like, I will not stand for this. Stop putting the word omakase where it doesn't belong.
This is a PSA from Kim. Stop that shit.
Stop it.
Girl, if there's anything they will do, people will fucking colonize an experience, girl, and try to make money off of it. That shit is crazy.
Yeah.
It's also when I see people, I'm not a coffee drinker, like we talked about at the top of this. And which I don't understand decaf coffee, because if you're not drinking it to get caffeinated, then why drink coffee?
Because we like the flavor and the scent.
Got it. Okay.
You know, some people don't like Mountain Dew, but some people drink it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Some people, don't like Sprite. It has no caffeine.
I don't understand Starbucks Reserve. I'm like, if y'all think that's different coffee, bitch, I have a Fortune 500 company that I need to sell you.
Is it not different coffee?
No, I mean, I don't have the proof that it's not.
I mean, I haven't gone to Starbucks in like years.
Oh, really? You don't drink Starbucks?
Well, because I brew coffee at home.
Got it. Yeah, Starbucks Reserve is like, and I've only seen one. I've seen two locations before. There's one like in
Seattle?
No, in New York on like 14th Street by the Google thing. There's a big Starbucks Reserve there, and I'm like, and the coffee's like $5 more than regular Starbucks, and I'm like, just for some coffee, girl, that shit is wild. But
yeah.
to each his own.
Do you remember when Starbucks was doing like this like olive oil coffee? Like a few months ago, and everyone was like up in roar because they said it was like the nastiest thing ever.
Olive oil coffee, that doesn't even sound good. That just sounds nasty.
Apparently it was just literally like coffee with like olive oil in it, but then sometimes like they'll put too much olive oil in, so it's just like you're drinking like straight up olive oil.
Yeah.
And then also like coffee, like makes you shit like crazy, so I can imagine like adding pure oil on top of all that.
Ugh, God, is there? Do you say up on influencer beef? I feel like influencer beef was really big on YouTube, then it chilled for a little bit, and now there's always some influencer beef on fucking TikTok now.
It's like if you did not live through the 2018 influencer like drama era,
that was wild.
I feel like I was like someone in the makeup company was always being like ousted, like someone was always getting in a fight with someone. There was a wild time.
Well, now the new one is apparently, I saw this last night, doom scrolling on TikTok. Michaela, the makeup girl, that like talks like this, and she has the crazy face. She got in trouble with this, or there's this brand called Pimby with this African.
I saw that where she like swatches it, but then she doesn't like swatch it properly.
Like, yes. So this brand Pimby, this woman, she makes this makeup palette, and she swatches it, and it has this like the pigment and the payoff is apparently really good. It can go like up her entire arm, and you can see the color, right? So the Michaela got it, the thing. She's like, I got this thing, I'm gonna try it out. And then she swatches it, and it goes like this far. And she was like, I heard that they use Vaseline or something. I don't know. And then so the person clapped back. She like in the video, she takes a makeup wipe, she cleans her fingers, her arm to prove there's nothing on her fingers, and she does it. And now everyone is accusing Michaela of trying to like, be shady to this Black-owned makeup business.
Oh my God!
I know it's always like, a thing, girl.
At least like when I was like making like those kind of like reviews. Unless, like, they deserve it. You generally, like, don't post, like, any content if it's going to be, like, negative, you know?
Yeah. But, I mean, unless you're Jeffree Star, that's why people go to Jeffree Star, because they feel like they're going to get the real tea regardless.
He's also MAGA, and...
Oh, is he? Of course. Why am I shocked by that, actually?
Not as shocked that I was for Nicole Scherzinger.
Girl! Okay. So before we end this podcast, let's give Miss Scherzinger a little screen time.
Okay, first of all, her like 95% of her like audience is gay,
right,
and woman,
right.
Like ain't no straight men seeking out Nicole Scherzinger for music. Shit like 60 fans. And then she just like, you know what? I don't need those 60 fans. Let me just like grift for no reason.
Well, allegedly, she supported Obama when he ran, so she might not be MAGA, but she is like super religious. So her religious views around abortion and things have pushed her to. So what happened? The whole thing that made this all boil over was that Russell Brand, who's a notorious MAGA, the fucking British comedian dude, he is MAGA.
Who's also
MAGA.
like accused of like essay and
sexual violence. He sure has. Mm-hmm. He used to be with Katy Perry, right? They used to date.
Yeah.
Former Katy Perry. He posted a thing with a hat, and Nicole Scherzinger commented like, "Oh, that's an awesome hat. Where can I get it?" Some comment like that.
It's like, first of all, she had no business going on like Russell Brand's Instagram.
Like, why, girl? Why post that? And like, again, if you're saying you want to make America great again hat, using deductive reasoning, we're thinking, oh, you're doing it because you want to, the red Make America Great hat signifies that you believe that you are a MAGA supporter, that you support Trump and you believe in their ideas, right? When you like, that is what that signal is to other people. When you see that, when I see people with it at the airport, when I see people walking in the street, when I see people with it in videos, like that's what you're saying that you're aligning yourself with, right? So we're not crazy. Because she put out a statement on her Instagram, in her Instagram story, saying, citing like religious beliefs. She's always supported the community, blah, 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 blah. But when you posting that you like this hat and you want this hat, that's what we're believing that you want. That you stand for those ideals and those virtues. So if she's MAGA or not, bitch, people are very upset. And also, bitch, you know what? I'm gonna say in this day and age, just come say with your chest, I do not support Trump. I did not vote for Trump. Let's say that.
But she didn't. So which
she didn't.
She
because
did.
she probably did. Yeah. So apparently last night at because she's currently in Sunset Boulevard on Broadway right now, and she was like poised for a Tony. Because I went to go see the show. Now I went to go see the show on a Tuesday. I bought tickets, not knowing anything. Apparently Nicole does not perform on. She said she has every Tuesday off, and I was like, ugh, I really bought these tickets to come see Nicole Scherzinger in the show. The show is a brilliant show. The woman, I forget her name, her cover, I forget her name, but she's incredible.
It's like
really,
Andra
really
or something. No.
I don't know. A lady with curly hair. She was really good though. Okay. And the show is a really great show, but apparently now people are like asking for her to be ousted from the role, to not nominate her for the Tony and put Heather Headley in the show instead. So it's like a whole drama, girl.
And then like the Instagram for the show also like turned their comments off.
Yeah.
So well, like with Nicole, you didn't have to say anything, and you did, and now you're paying the consequences.
100%. And we're in a very sensitive time, right? Like, and again, we tried our best to not talk about politics and everything, but like this is part of what the world is for the next couple of days. People are upset, people are grieving, like it is what it is. And like we're in a really tricky time, whereas, and I've been trying to do my due diligence and listen to all the things and because I do think there is some validity in people saying like they feel like the Democrats have kind of lost the working class. Like I'm not saying those things are not valid. I just, in my life, in my experience, could never see myself prioritizing my pocketbook or how I felt 4 years ago versus people's versus the denigration of people and making people second class citizens and not having people have equal rights and protection that I do. Like I just will never prioritize my money or my wallet over that kind of stuff. Yeah. So so it's just really tough, and people are going to be upset, and people are going to express that and say how they feel. And so it just is what it is. And she's going to pay the piper in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, it was like a worst timing to do this, Nicole. And you know what? Personally, me as someone from the gay community, I'm done with you. And I was rooting for you all this time. I've always, hoped better things for you. I was like, she's so talented,
yes.
She deserves to be. Now I don't care. Like you could rot.
Yeah. I've been supporting Nicole Scherzinger since Eden's Crush. Okay? Get over yourself. Goodbye. Like, I've been supporting her. So now I ain't no more.
Now I can't even listen to Jai-Ho without singing Mega.
Wait, that's her song?
Jai-Ho, yeah.
I did not know that.
Wait, let me just make sure that it's her song.
I did not know that.
I think so, Jai-Ho. Well, you're making me doubt things.
I just didn't know. I just asked.
Yeah, Jai-Ho, Pussycat Dolls. Nicole
I didn't know that was Pussycat Dolls. Interesting. Yeah. But you know what, people? If you want to go see Sunset Boulevard, get your ticket on a Tuesday because Nicole's not in it. And I think if people got tickets and they only went on Tuesdays, we could send such a powerful message. Like we want to see the show, but not on the other nights. On the night that we know she's not in it. And if you want another show to go see, I went to go see Death Becomes Her. So fucking good. The show was brilliant, so funny. Megan Hilty, I'm sorry, I forget the woman who plays the other role. Sorry, but they were both so good, so funny. The show was brilliant. I loved every minute of it.
There's 2 shows that I'm like excited to go see that's coming up.
What?
The first is the Jinx Monsoon and Mandela Crim's holiday show. I go every year. It is phenomenal. It is so good.
I want to go with you this year.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Like, I love them so much because every year they manage to like bring up fresh materials about the holidays and they make it so funny. The second show I'm excited to go see is this show called Life Be Lifing.
Thank you, Kim. Yes, I have my one-woman show, Life Be Lifing, touring the last dates. Yo, these are the last dates of the show. I'm doing New York City. I'm going to be at Joe's Pub on the 19th and 20th of November. And then I'm going to be the 20 dates in the States in January. And then I'm filming it in Los Angeles later on in February. So, and then the show is done. I've been doing this show for fucking 2 years now. It's a wrap on her. And so if you want to go to my website to come see the show live, it's a show I'm really proud of. Even from Kim saw like the very first iteration of it before I took it to Edinburgh, before all these other shows. So the show is literally, Kim, kind of completely different from what you even saw, but I'm really proud of the show.
It was great back then, so I'm sure it's even more phenomenal now. So
Thank you. Kim, thank you so much for coming and chatting with me. We just, I love have Kim and Naomi in the pod because we just, we're good friends out, not only when y'all see, we hang with them all the time, and it's always nice to have them on the podcast. I just love you so much, Kimberly.
Yes. Am I going to see you at the next Blood on the Clock Tower night?
Yes, I'm going to come. I literally come back to LA on the 21st.
Okay.
And then I'm going to be there on the next one.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good.
All right, dear.
Bye. Peace.